about this
Abu,
email.
Abu,
Can you
Abu, is
discuss
this a
this email
Shia?
destroyer?
Abu Musa,
Okay.
is he Shia?
Look. Just read this email. Read this email.
What about the email? I
Give it.
already know what this guy, this Mushrik Khalif did. I don't care.
Mushrik.
Okay,
Musa, one
good.
second.
So stay on mute.
Musa,
Safe.
this email about like are they recruiting people for jobs? I'm looking for a job. I'm on the market.
Maybe not.
Wait, are you
emails.
Shia?
never mind.
Yeah, Destroyer, are you Shia?
Guys, okay.
No,
wait.
I'm Hindu.
Abu and
Now,
Saif,
can you
Abu
read
and
the
Saif.
You
email?
know what they say in the Shia hadith that you can
Saif,
rub little girls'
Shia
thighs, bro.
hadith. Bro.
I agree. Yes, that's true. No, it's not hadith, but I agree. Yes. Now, read it. Go ahead.
Do you think that these emails are bad?
Like, read this specific email, Safe, and tell me what you think.
This is from Epstein, bro. What do you think about these emails?
Yeah, nice Mushrik Takia. It's from Rasulullah. Stop me.
Safe, what do you think about this email?
Let me read it. You married a martyr. Why don't you like virgins and fondling them? Why don't you go somewhere where you can legally marry young girls so you can play with each other? Who's this talking?
This is Jeffrey
This is
Epstein. This is
sent
Jeffrey
via
Epstein
BlackBerry.
From Jeffrey Epstein?
from 2009. He was speaking to, obviously, someone that's redacted. We don't know who it is. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how evil is what he's saying here? Or how evil is he based on what he said?
Yeah, because he did it unjustly. It was great.
Yeah, but is it disgusting what he said?
Yeah, because he grapes them. He doesn't actually, there's no he sex traffics them and he grapes them.
No, but is it
He
disgusting?
kidnapped them.
Forget the kidnapping and stuff. What he said, is that disgusting?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Does it make him evil for saying this? Like, is this?
Because he would traffic them and grape them. Of course, it is.
No, we're not talking about this. We're talking
talking
about
about this
what's written in
specific
the email.
Let's forget that. What he did.
I don't think he read the email.
I see, brother, this specific email, Safe. Okay, is this like a new low for what he says here? Like, he's trying to tell people, why are you marrying older women? Come get the little girls. Is he evil for saying something like that?
And virgin, don't forget virgin. Has to be virgin.
Yeah, virgins and fondling. Does it make him evil?
Yeah, he's an evil person. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Well, unfortunately for you, never said that. Okay, it was actually your problem. Go ahead. Tell me, is Muhammad now evil for saying this, bro? Go ahead, read it. Epstein never said that. We just took the words. I'm not going to say I. Destroyer took the words of your prophet and put it in an email to cover it up. Congratulations, your prophet's evil and your prophet's...
Read it. One second. I have to do something. 1 second. Let me read it. I'm working. I'm picking up.
Destroyer. You tricked me also with that, man. You tricked me with this too.
Wait, 1 second.
Destroyer, I was searching internet for that email now.
Oh my days, bro. Actually, we got some emails of Epstein, but even there's some horrible emails too. But this one, right?
Read it now. Let me read it. When I got married, narrated by bin Abdullah, Jabir bin Abdullah. When I got married, Allah's messenger, what type of lady you married? He replied, I have married a martyr. And he said, why don't you for the virgin and fondling them? Allah's messenger. Can you like make so I can read the whole thing?
Yeah. I mean, you can look it up yourself. It's Sahih Bukhari 5080.
5080.
Can you put it up?
Why didn't you marry a young girl so
the
that
same
you
thing that
with
was
her?
in there.
Yeah, go read the Arabic part. Oh my God, you guys are so messed up that you don't trust your own translations from your own websites.
Even worse, because An-Nawawi exegetes it, this part in Sahih Muslim, and he says, play with you and play with them is an euphemism for foreplay. So it's not going to help you. You should, as much as possible, stay in the English translation.
I don't know why you guys do this to yourself. Like, that's crazy.
All right, I missed the last 5 minutes. What happened?
He's learning how to read.
Naso, you gotta admit this is a really good ploy, Naso. Come on, sis.
Yeah, you fell
Come on,
for it.
don't give me astaghfirullah, bro.
Everybody fell for it. including our Christian brother, by the way. Alpha fell for it.
Oh yeah, I'll start searching, man, for the email.
I came back. I read it. The
I know
thing
it's
is,
not too much evil anymore. right?
Jabir bin Abdullah married a matron. He said
No, it's not so evil anymore.
wait.
right?
And I'm reading. Whoa. Say, let's look at this guy, man. Didn't let me finish. Anyway, so Jabir bin Abdullah. Do you guys know how old Jabir bin Abdullah was?
Do you have any embarrassment?
Anyone?
Do you have
Anyone?
any shame, bro? Like,
Okay.
you just said it's evil.
How
Can you answer the
old?
question, bro?
Okay.
Stop being a little
Okay.
boy.
How old was he? He was 2 years old. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, what? He was 2 years old?
Yeah, he was 2 years old.
No, he was not. See, this is how I know you're being disingenuous. Anyway, Jabir bin Abdullah was a young boy. Yeah.
Okay.
He married an older woman, a matron. That's what a matron is. Do you guys know what a matron is?
Yeah. Somebody previously.
Okay,
married.
beautiful. So he went to Rasulullah. Rasulullah said, "Why don't you marry someone?" This is talking about Rasulullah said to him, "Why don't you marry someone close to your age so you might play with them?" You know what I'm saying? So you play with her and she with you. Jabir bin Abdullah was a young boy.
Okay. So now.
How
Hey,
old
keep crying,
Khadija?
keep crying
How
now.
old?
Keep
Hey,
crying,
how-
keep
how old
crying.
Khadija was? How old Khadija was when he married her?
In another.
And now refute me in that.
It's easy. You have another narration about this thing, the same exact.
Let's run into another narration now.
It's this 2 seconds. It's the same story, but
Hey,
it adds.
He
It
gonna
adds
away when it
detail.
get hard.
Singing is haram, by the way. So there's another narration.
You're funny. I'll sing all I like.
He got so mad. I called out his sin.
Hey man, don't run
Now-
away from that narration, bro. Come on.
So there's another narration. I'll give you the number in 2 seconds, where he specifies it's because I have young sisters, and I want somebody who can teach them and comb their hair. Meaning, he's going to marry immature little girls. What do you think about that?
I wasn't listening to you. Can you repeat what you said?
Of course, he wasn't listening. Are you going to
I'm
play
working.
dumb?
I'm working while I'm talking
Yeah.
to you guys.
Okay. So get off, finish work, and then come back.
No, I mean, you're not the one who deems what
But
I
it's
do,
funny.
man.
How can you work and you at the same time? Usually, your mouth is full when you work.
I don't understand what you're saying, bro.
But
But anyway, why are you guys running away from this narration? Do you guys understand it was a little
I
child?
just debunked it.
Jabir bin Abdullah was a little child.
So first of all,
I think the choice point of safe. There's different narrations. It might be best.
yeah.
to read it
Let me
in
bring it 2 seconds. Let me bring it 2 seconds. It alone doesn't even make sense to begin with. I'm just granting it to him, and I'm going to debunk it using his premise.
Debunk it, ya Shia. Debunk it. Yalla ya Rafidi, yalla.
Safe, show us the work.
No, I'm doing DoorDash, bro.
Oh, do that right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I keep like getting on mute and that. Yeah.
Are you the same DoorDash guy that used to go to Caleb's live?
No, it's not me, man. I've been in Caleb's life once. I'm pretty sure once or twice.
Okay, you have many, by the way. So one of them is Bukhari 6387. It says, I replied, she is a matron, and he said, why didn't you marry a virgin girl so that you might play with her and she with you? I said, my father died, leaving 7 or 9 girl orphans, and I did not like to bring a young girl like them. So I married a woman who can look after them.
And who? And
in other narrations,
where's this narration from?
Bukhari 6387.
Bukhari 6387. So Bukhari talks about the same thing in different chains.
Are you what? Are you new to hadith? Like,
I'm gonna bring it up. 1 second. I'm gonna bring it up.
wait, you don't know that? Okay, that's a new one.
Listen. Take a ciggy, light it up, calm down. I'm gonna go search it up.
So wait,
6387, yeah? 6387, yeah?
You know the Quran repeats itself as well, yeah? In case you didn't know.
Yeah, another one that I found really funny where they always say the numerical miracles and they're like, heaven and hell was mentioned the same amount of times. But I remember when I used to read the Quran, literally every single time it mentions heaven, it mentions hell right after. Or when it mentions hell, it mentions heaven right after. Like, it's not really a miracle if you're mentioning them side by side.
Numerical miracles for a bunch of illiterate Bedouins who did not know even how to count to 5. It's pretty insane. It's a pretty ad hoc explanation. The only numerical miracle of the Quran is how apparently the one uncreated word of God became 7, 10, 30, 31, 40. This is the numerical miracle.
So, Destroyer, did you find your sources for Fatima radiallahu anha being 14, or are you still...
Wait, I found it. I read it. Does this negate that Jabir was a young boy?
No, it doesn't. I said I'm going to debunk you using your premise, meaning I'm going to keep your premise in the calculation.
Jabir said he's a young boy. He said, I don't want to marry a young girl. I want to marry an older woman so she can take care of the orphans.
Actually,
he said, he said, my father left behind little
7 or 9
girls.
orphans.
Yes. So
Yes.
I married a woman who can take care
of
a mature woman. An older woman.
Exactly.
He didn't want to marry a young girl. He didn't want to marry a girl close to his age.
So the Prophet was enticing him to marry a immature girl. Are you an R?
No, a young girl close to his age, because Jabir was a young boy.
But he just qualified that she would be otherwise immature. You absolute kafir boy.
Listen, yeah, Jahil.
You're baked. Your argument just fell.
Jabir was a young boy. He didn't want to marry a young girl. What's the problem with that?
Saif, would you call somebody who goes to battle a young boy?
Who goes to battle a young boy?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there can be young boy in battle. Why not?
He can be a young boy in battle.
Why not?
Yeah, there are many examples in the Sunnah of young boys taking part in the battles.
Same hadith, another matan of a hadith. The whole incident happened after a ghazwa, because he says, Jabir, he says, غزوت مع رسول الله وقال فتلاحق, and then he continues. So this is after a ghazwa. So the man is like
your point here?
The man is a fighter.
So he would be 15
Yeah,
at minimum.
he's a young boy. He's a fighter. MashaAllah. Allahumma barik.
He's considered an adult Islamically.
Wow, he's a young boy. He's a fighter. What's the problem?
Islamically, he's not considered a young boy. Are you like you don't even know?
Yeah. Islamically, he's not considered a young boy. Yeah.
Good. So stop saying long. Okay. So stop saying young boy.
Where are you getting the young boy from? Where are you getting it from?
Age-wise, he's still a young boy.
Where are you getting it from?
Yeah, even I granted it to him because it doesn't even matter. But now we're going to press you on it. Where did you get he's a young boy?
Man, the funny part is, this is the funny part. They would never take in the case that he wasn't a young boy, because within Islam they don't look at age to classify a young boy or a young girl. But as soon as it comes to a girl, they'll say, no, she's a young girl. Don't marry. It doesn't matter what Islam thinks about a young boy and a young girl.
Where did you get he's a young boy? Where did you get he's a young boy?
Iyadu billah. This guy, are you retarded? Like, you don't listen.
Look at this.
Where do you get he's a young boy? Show me. Where does it say he's a young boy? Go on. I'm waiting. Interesting. way, all of this, because your prophet had an erection to a 9-year-old. All of this, he could have just, kept it inside, and that's it.
So, Destroyer, 14. Your proof from the Sunnah, from the companions. I'm still waiting.
I have to pull it up.
Talking
I
about
don't have
Jabir
it
Yeah,
memorized.
I've been waiting for the past 20 minutes. Yeah, it shouldn't take this long, buddy.
You'll keep waiting until we're done with the discussion.
Yeah, don't be emotional, bro. Just keep waiting.
It's
Hold on.
okay. You got mad.
Hey, so Abu
the
Musa,
woman,
if someone
got cold.
wait, if someone blasphemes against your prophet or your religion, do you feel angry towards them?
Say that again?
If someone blasphemes your religion, do you feel angry against them, bro?
Yeah, I have gira for Allah and His Apostle.
Have gira. Okay.
Isn't that an emotional reaction then? You said when you told me that you're fine with an old man fondling a child.
Yeah,
You said
not
I'm having
not
an
what I
emo-
said.
The 9-year-old is a grown ass woman.
Huh? I
He's not-
said
he's a-
I didn't
he's a
concede with your
9-year-old
point
grown-ass
about a
woman, though.
random 54-year-old.
Okay,
We're
I'm saying
talking about the
if he was a
Rasulullah
prophet, though,
sallallahu alaihi
if he
wasallam,
claimed
the
to be a
best
prophet,
creation.
if he claimed to be a prophet, though, you said that I have an emotional reaction, right? I have an emotional reaction.
You're
wanting to-
arguing based on your emotion.
Oh, so you're also when someone blasphemes your prophet, you also have emotional reaction, right? And then you unalive someone.
Yeah, but I'm
because
not
of that.
arguing based on emotion. That's the distinction between me and you.
Oh, so what's worse, unaliving someone based on emotions, or trying to reason with someone based on emotions?
Trying to reason with someone based on emotion because
Exactly.
it doesn't follow,
So, yeah,
it
so
doesn't
that
follow
means-
the laws
that
of
means you
logic
what?
or argumentation.
Bro, the point is, if you see a child getting abused by a 54-year-old man, right, you will have an emotional reaction. You know why? Because God, who created you, put a morality in your heart that will prevent you. See, just like when you see a man sleep with a man, you would feel the same shit, right? It's not morally.
Yeah, but that's a man and a man is subjectively immoral.
Man and the man is
Wait, what?
Yes,
Subjectively
yes,
moral
because
as a
right
Muslim?
now it's considered moral. Right now it's
Oh
considered
my
moral, but maybe in your country it's considered immoral. So that's
We're
subjective.
talking. What?
Wait.
Abu, do you agree with
wait.
this guy?
In
Abu, do you
Australia,
agree with this guy?
or America, is it considered immoral to sleep with a man?
Not
Brother,
talking
we're
about
talking-
America. We're talking about
Yeah,
the
shut up then.
We're talking about
Bro, as a
morality,
religion-
which comes from God.
we have-
Don't say
it's
shut up when
objective,
you've
man.
been intellectually
Old man is
debunked
getting
2 or 3
mad.
times.
Old man is getting
No,
mad.
actually,
Old man.
actually,
But wait,
speaking,
is there an issue with an old man?
Yeah, I
2
Jews.
seconds.
Yeah, I Jews. Yeah, I
2
Jews.
seconds.
That's good. Yeah, I
Do you have a 6-year-old
Yeah, I
sister?
do.
Maybe we can
Yeah, I do.
you
I
know
don't
we
have
can
a
set up
6-year-old sister.
something. We can
No,
set up
what?
something.
I don't have a 6-year-old sister.
Wait. How we're going to react? Wait.
I
What's
don't
the
have a
issue?
6-year-old sister. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's
but
the problem.
if you had one, would it be
I
fine
don't
if I
speak.
set up
I don't
something?
speak. I don't speak hypothetically. I speak logically, man.
Ah.
Literally, logically.
having emotional reaction.
See his reaction. See the reaction he had when I said, let's
What's
set
my
up
reaction?
something with her. And suddenly he remembered, oh, my PDF prophet was 53. That's true. And she was 6. So now,
What are you waffling about? What?
why this nervous laugh? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm not nervous.
Are you,
I'm
are you
laughing
realizing?
because you're
Are you
waffling
realizing?
about nothing.
Are you realizing that a PDF will be sitting on the throne of Allah?
No,
Is that
I'm
what you're
realizing
You sound
that
like you've taken-
wallahi,
Uh-oh,
I
uh-oh.
would saw your neck open if I saw you.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, because I have gira for Allah and His Apostle, and I would saw your
Here we
neck off
go,
and
here
then
we
crucify
go.
you.
You need to take some laxatives, bro. You seem a bit constipated.
He's getting a bit
PDFs are on it
frustrated.
again. Emotional reaction.
Look at
There's
the
nothing wrong with an
Musa.
emotional reaction. You're arguing based on emotion.
One second,
You
guys.
see, that's the distinction between me and you. You're arguing based on
Abu
emotion.
Musa,
I never
Now,
been-
Rabba, be
tell
honest,
me,
Rabba, I
tell me.
like you, but you do get very angry quickly, bro.
safe for a
Like,
second.
Tell me,
let's not
Abu
say
Musa,
around your wife,
wait,
bro. That's not
Abu
saying.
Musa, Abu
YouTube
Musa.
for a
One
second.
second,
Hold
guys.
on.
Can you
Are you gonna?
undo?
Are you gonna? Abu
Can
Musa,
you
but the people
undo-
listening, listening to you saying that you would, if you saw his neck, what would you do to his neck?
You
I
said you'll
would
saw
saw
his
it
neck
open.
off.
I would take off his
Yeah,
head.
there we
Wallahi.
go.
Yeah, if you took off my head, would that undo you being intellectually molested by me? Or no?
No.
No, right? So even if you saw off my head, you will never be
well-
able to undo what just happened
Yeah,
today.
Sure, sure. For the sake of argument,
Wow.
sure. But I would still have your head and I'd be dangling it around.
Good.
What a beautiful religion. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
You're
We
listening,
came
Nasr.
with a book
Nasr, you're
which
listening
guides
to
and a
this.
sword
Yeah,
which
Nasr,
brings
this is your
victory,
brothers,
because the
Nasr.
sword
This
will
is your
always be
brothers.
above your neck. Wallahi, wallahi,
Well, you
this is the
sound a
promise
bit
of Allah.
conservative,
Jabir was 23 apparently.
Yeah.
Here we go. Danny says it.
Yeah, I did the research quickly.
Abu Musa,
He
can
was
you
born
do you want
607.
to take all of our heads, Abu Musa? All of our heads?
No, don't. Why would I do that?
You said that you wanted to take his head. What about ours? Are you being discriminatory?
Oh, so one
How
person
is
means
this
everyone, guys.
discrimination?
It's like a
Dude,
trinity. It's
don't
like a
hold me back
trinity.
from
Abu
being a
Musa,
One
moderator.
person
Abu
means
Musa,
everyone.
I'm
It's like a
literally an
trinity, guys.
apostate.
Bro, look, bro. I
Like
want
a
to pray.
trinity.
Wait,
One person
look,
means
look.
everyone.
How did I apostatize? What's my
Abu
reda?
Musa, hold on. I want to pray for you and your family before you do it. Can I do that? Would you allow me to do that before you saw it off?
Sure. Well, why not?
Okay,
Why would I not?
just give us that chance.
Abu Musa.
Just give us that
The thing
chance,
is,
bro.
yeah. He
Yeah,
said,
bro.
why not everyone else? Why only him? It's like, this is the Christian ideology. One person means three. So that's why we have to just understand it.
Ha ha ha. Funny.
Yeah,
Or with
at least
Aisha.
3%. At
Aisha,
least
one
3%.
person means the neighborhood, yeah?
Huh?
Allah. Oh, I forgot to laugh. Wallah, say the joke again. Wallah, say the joke again.
You blasphemed our God. You got it back now. Just relax and take it.
No,
like a good
safe,
boy.
safe. Why did you go there, bro? Allah. You were
Huh?
doing good up to that point, and then he did say something, and you took offense to it.
Yeah,
When
it's
did I
very
take
bad,
offense to
bro.
it?
It's very bad. It's
Nah,
very bad. You
I never
blasphemed
took
our
offense to
God.
it.
Now we have to do it. African, pull up the hadith, bro. Pull up Sunan Nasai 33, please. Let's because you blasphemed. You blasphemed our God. We didn't
Can you
blaspheme
have it?
anything, bro.
I'll bring it up.
Did you not do the same to Allah's
Did I
apostle?
blaspheme your God? Did I blaspheme your
To
God?
Allah's apostle.
I never mentioned even Muhammad. I only asked you hypotheticals about 54-year-olds.
No.
Again, I'm not
Wait.
talking about you. I'm talking
Abu
about the
Musa.
Sawyer, the Majusi Jew.
Yeah. Tell me, by the way, did Allah deceive the people at the crucifixion? Did He make it appear so?
Yes, he deceived them, yes.
Okay, what tells me that the Quran is not currently a deception that will be revealed in a few years or few centuries?
Or consistency, man.
Oh, Allah, this guy. Again,
destroy
with the
that.
Wait,
bring
2
the
seconds.
How old are you,
logical
Destroyer?
2
arguments.
seconds.
Again, with
Wait,
the
hold on,
hypotheticals,
wait, Destroyer.
bring a
Are you
rational,
40?
logical argument.
Wait. What's
Destroyer.
happening? What's all this panicking?
No,
I just asked you.
How are we panicking?
Allah
You're,
made it
again, you're
appear so
relying
at the
on
crucifixion.
hypotheticals.
What convinces you that part of the Quran was not made to appear so?
Because Allah states already in the Quran.
But He deceived at the crucifixion.
But why are you stuttering?
He
Abu Musa,
deceived. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. He deceived at the crucifixion. What tells me He won't deceive now?
Because Allah already said in the Quran.
What if that's a deceptive? What if that's a deceptive statement?
Again, it's a hypothetical.
Oh,
it
but-
has
oh,
no
I
value.
So you don't have really any basis for grounding
Your
the
argument
Quran.
has no stance because
your
it's relying on
argument has no
hypotheticals.
Panicking. Look at
All
the
right,
panicking.
before
This guy's
that,
argument has no basis.
since you guys blaspheme, it's safe to say, can you read
Blaspheme,
this
not
hadith?
blaspheme.
Who's you guys?
Oh, whatever.
Who's you
Read the
guys?
hadith.
I didn't say anything.
Don't be emotional, guys. Read the hadith, though. Read the hadith. You made fun of Christ. You said that you're making fun of the Trinity. Now read the hadith, bro. Go ahead, read it.
Sorry, 3 in 1 shampoo. Sorry, man.
It's right there, Sunan Nasai 33, bro. Read it. It's right there in Africa.
I wanna get hit.
Read it.
I want to
bro.
get a head and shoulders.
Read it. Why not reading this hadith? Why
They say, okay, ask me one more time, maybe I'll read it.
Okay.
Do you wanna?
Can you please read it, Safety? Can you read it?
Good boy. Alright, they say that the Prophet ﷺ made a will for Ali, but he called for a basin in which to urinate, and then he went to flush it suddenly and died. So how could he leave a will? Yeah, what's the problem?
You have no problem with that, right?
What's the problem?
Then don't ever make fun of.
What's the problem?
Jesus,
Let's ask me
who
what's the
died
problem.
heroically for the whole of humanity when your prophet died this way, bro. Just get out of here, bro. Stop it. Don't make
Wait,
fun
what?
of Christ.
That wasn't even an argument, bro.
This
That wasn't even an argument. Try again next time, bro.
Yeah, the greatest
again.
prophet alive. This
Try
is how he
again.
died.
Try again. It
You have
wasn't
no
even an
problem with that,
argument.
right? You have no problem
Try
with that?
again.
You
You need to
urinated
find
placid
that.
and died? You have no problem with that?
The thing is, yeah, your God died. My God didn't.
Your God don't exist. How can something that don't exist
Your
don't die?
God, Your God died, bro.
Your God is a fragment
Man.
of Muhammad's imagination,
Yeah,
so
man.
he can sleep
Your
with,
God shat and pissed, bro. Your God shat and pissed, bro.
Oh, your Allah's eternally ejaculating from the throne. Shut up, man.
Wait. Yeah, the thing is that I have proof that he didn't. You don't have
Yeah,
proof
because
that
you open your mouth when it rains, hoping you get a semen droplet. Yeah.
Why'd you kick him?
because it's blaspheming. What do you expect?
You're
I'm not
the story's doing the
blaspheming.
same.
I'm
Why
reading
isn't he
facts,
removed
though.
from the panel?
Abu,
Why
I'm
is it selective?
I'm reading
Because
facts.
I don't saw people's neck off.
Well, don't worry. One day it's coming. Inshallah.
One day it's coming. Yeah,
Inshallah.
that's what Aisha said.
One day it's coming.
One day it's coming. One day it's not.
Bro.
Yeah, you laugh now, but when the knife is against your neck, you're not gonna be laughing.
Clip this, alright?
Who's gonna put the knife?
Abu
You?
Musa, hey, you know what? When Abu Musa, right, he decides to go to a panel where he tries to deceive a woman into converting, right? This will be a nice clip to play for them. When he says Islam is so beautiful, the Prophet ﷺ was so good in his manners. Yeah, then we will have to play this clip for them. When you give
Please
dawah,
play
okay?
it, because we have from authentic narrations that Rasulullah ﷺ said himself that he came in the shadow of the spear. He came to terrorize the disbelievers, and
He came in
wallah,
the
we affirm
shadows?
this.
Wait, are you a muwahhid? Or are you a Salafi?
A muwahhid?
Yeah, are you a muwahhid?
Salafi.
Let me ask you a better question.
Sure.
Do you believe ISIS are true Muslims?
Say it again.
Do you believe ISIS are true Muslims?
Allahu Alam, it's not for me to say.
Why not? That sounds like someone who knows exactly what they are. What do you mean Allahu Alam, bro? Are they
It's
Muslims
not
or not?
for me to say. How am I to say?
Are they Muslims or
without
not, bro?
clear
You
proof
sound like you have like a
the
lot of
Rida
knowledge.
that they're Muslim or
Okay,
non-Muslim.
is it likely that they are? Do you feel it's likely that they are?
Yeah, I found by their muhabala and their application of the Sharia.
God damn, Ibn Kathir, we have to do a muhabala.
My turn.
Yeah, for the Khilafah to be valid, they have to have muhabala.
Abu Musa, do you think they follow the example of the Prophet and the Sahaba?
Sahaba.
It's Sahaba, not Sahiba.
Oh, okay.
It's not the Sahaba, bro. See, it's the Sahaba. Where's your ha, bro?
Yeah,
You're not even a real
Sahaba.
Muslim.
That's what I said.
Sahaba,
I didn't say
bro.
Sahiba.
Sahaba.
Bro, just stop with the Arabic, honestly. It's so cringe. Man. Like, you sound like an absolute buffoon, man.
Sure.
So, are they Muslims, Musa?
Again, Allahu Alam. It's not for me to
No,
say.
Allah doesn't alam. He has already told us exactly what to do in the Quran, and they're following it. So, if they
Yeah,
unlike
I agree.
Christians,
They abide by the Quran and Sunnah.
okay, good. So they're Muslims, right?
Again, Allahu Alam. They had some deficiencies in the Khilafah.
Like what?
For example, they're trading with the Nusayri regime. You know, this wasn't done
The what?
during the time. Huh?
Speak English, bro. Just speak English.
They were exchanging with what?
With the Nusayri regime, with the Bashar's regime. They were, exchanging things such as oil and wheat and so on, things that were taken and collected as zakat, in exchange for things like electricity. And, this is one of the deficiencies.
And what? The Prophet didn't exchange with Bashar al-Assad, so therefore...
No.
I'm trying to understand.
The point is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't engage frequently in trade with those who are openly enemies of Islam and did not have a treaty. They didn't have any treaty with the Muslims, which under Abdullah's Khilafah, they didn't have any treaty with the Nusayri regime. They were just freely trading. This is a deficiency.
Is that your biggest issue with those people? Like, that's where you draw the line?
It's one of the deficiencies.
Okay.
What else? What other deficiencies?
I mean, that's the biggest one I can think of, off the top of my head. I would also say, in some of the acts which they carried out, for example, drowning, this is one of the deficiencies for, with regards to, the burning, that they did, the very famous example. Some say this is deficiency. I don't, this is, it was Qisas, and we find in authentic narrations that, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, rahimahullah, during Qisas, when he was, implementing the law of Qisas, he burned,
Stop saying Arabic words,
Martudan
bro.
alive.
Yeah. Okay, well, before I show you this picture, by the way, it's not Rahimullah, it's Radiyallahu an for Abu Bakr. Okay? Just wanted to correct that for you. So, this picture here, let me see if I can expand myself.
Also, it's qasas, not qisas. Qisas is stories.
Yeah. So, this is true Islam, yeah? This is exactly how Muhammad and the Prophet acted, yeah? They took Christians like this when they didn't pay their jizya, when they didn't accept Islam, yeah?
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Can you repeat that?
This is what Muhammad and the Sahaba looked like at the time of the Prophet, right?
Well, maybe not exactly like that, but sure, for the sake of, the argument.
Okay, beautiful. So this is true Islam. True Islam is to unalive Christians and Jews if they don't accept Islam, to unalive pagans, atheists if they don't accept Islam. Yeah?
Well, yeah, we find in the Quran, Allah commands, and the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said himself that he was commanded to fight the people until, Islam, is, above all else. And with regards to this picture, this was, revenge for the Ethiopian church, kidnapping and murdering 3 sisters who reverted to Islam. And so,
It's interesting. It's interesting how it was the Coptic church last week, but this week it's the Ethiopian church revenge, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, the Ethiopian Coptic church.
Okay. There's no such thing as the Ethiopian Coptic church, so this is how I know you're just a parrot. Okay, you don't actually know anything. So there was no revenge. Coptic church didn't do anything at all. But there are 2 different events. This happened in, their 11th year anniversary is in 2 days, right? Their feast day is in 2 days. So this happened, and then 2 months later in April, 30 Ethiopian Christians also died in the same exact way. So could you tell me why they did it to the Ethiopians?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. So they said it themselves, so we don't even have to go back and forth. They said themselves that these Christians are our prey, and they have 3 options. Either accept Islam, pay the tax, or die. Right? So you don't need any type of eye for an eye. So if you guys are true, if you guys are, real Muslims, then you wouldn't sit there and say, oh, it's revenge, it's this and that. No. It's not, because this is exactly what the Copts did, what the Muslims did, right? Very barbaric activities in the time of Muhammad. This is what they did to the Copts. They stole the land, they stole the women, they took the men, they told them become Muslims. Notice how they couldn't even convince them of Islam at all, in any way, shape, or form. And because they weren't convinced, now they took another route of just unaliving them. Is this moral, Musa?
Say again?
Is this moral?
It depends on your definition of morality, or what you would define moral as.
According to your fitra, and according to my fitra, are you okay with being unalived because you didn't accept the Christian faith, for example?
Yes.
Wallah, okay
if I was put to death for being upon the fitra, it's something I would welcome.
That's not what I asked. I'm saying, would you be okay seeing your mother, sister, cousins, wife all being taken as sex slaves, and then you pay your jizya with humiliation, and if you don't pay the jizya, they unalive you? Are you okay with that?
So you're saying if I was a Christian?
No, you're a Muslim, and
Uh-huh.
there's a theocracy, and in the theocracy, it says you must accept Islam, you and your family. If you don't accept Islam, you're going to pay the jizya while being humiliated. Simultaneously, your wife, your sister, your daughter are all going to be taken as sex slaves. You should be okay with that, right?
Yeah, this is the hukm of Allah.
This is the hukm. So you're okay with your mother, sister, all being taken as sex slaves and raped.
See, that's what I don't understand. You're kind of making it come across as if, you know, in this context I'm a Christian, but then you're saying no, you're a
in this
Muslim. Why would?
no. Listen very carefully. I'm just simply putting you in the shoes of the Christians. But you're a Muslim. You live in a Muslim country. The Christians come and invade. And they say this is a theocracy now. This is led by the Christians. The Muslims are now our slaves. They are second-class citizens. The men, they either accept Islam or they pay the theocratic tax.
You mean accept Christianity?
Yes. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just wanted
no, that's my
correct that
fault.
point.
Yeah, they either accept Christianity and submit to the church, or they pay this Muslim tax. And if you don't pay the Muslim tax, you're going to pay it in humiliation, by the way. So every time you go and pay it, you're going to be reminded of, you rejecting the Christian faith, and you're going to be smacked up, you're going to be humiliated in any way, shape, or form. And simultaneously, your children, sister, mother, are all going to be taken as sex slaves. You're okay with that, right? That's totally fine.
If Allah wa ta'ala wills it. I mean, who am I to say?
But this is moral, right? It's perfectly moral for this Christian state to do this, yeah?
I mean...
And there's your answer, my friend. There's your answer. You know damn well it's not moral. But this is what Allah says. So you're okay when it happens to other people. But when it happens to you and your mother and your sister and your daughters, all of a sudden, we take a step back. You see how hypocritical and double standard this is? You see how immoral the Sharia law is? You see? So wake up to this BS and understand that all I needed to do is put yourself in our shoes, and then you realize how absolutely immoral and abhorrent this is. You see?
But, my friend, it's a loaded question.
It's not. It's really not.
I was going to say, Abu Musa, if you don't mind me asking, what's your background? What's your ethnicity? If you don't want to share, it's fine.
No, I have no problem with this. I'm from the United States. I was born and raised in a Protestant family, and was reverted in 2021.
Oh, you're a revert.
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's surprising.
Wait, is your family a Christian? Are your family Christian?
Yeah, he said he was
my
Protestant.
family.
Bro, you're not US, bro. Just the fuck away.
Based on what? You want me to send you my location right now?
Based on your shit accent.
So you want? Okay, let me send you my location right now.
Okay.
Ask you ethnicity, not location.
I was gonna say.
So again, my ethnicity is American.
No, that's not. You were born in America?
Yeah.
No, you're
in
not.
Texas, in Fort Worth.
No, this is not an American accent. It's not a Texas accent. Who the hell are you trying to fool, dude? What's your ethnic background?
Brother, wallah, you want me to show my face right now?
There's no way. You were not born in the U.S., bro. I wasn't born in the U.S., and we don't sound alike.
Okay. Abu Musa, why is your accent so bizarre, let's say?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
It sounds very European.
You're born and raised U.S.?
Yeah, for sure.
No.
It's not. It's so it's hilarious how bad the line is.
You're from Australia, but.
His His accent is some kind of weird European, maybe I don't know, Eastern Asia stuff.
Anyways, I was gonna say there's a lot of places where Islam, Sharia law ruined the country. For example, in Sudan, the Christians and the Muslims, they used to be fine until Omar al-Bashir, a dictator, he brought Sharia law, and then 10 years after he was and then a war broke out. And we can see a lot of countries where this happens, where there's, Sharia law causes a lot of damage to the country. Sudan, even in Somalia, there's the T group there. Syria has a T group. Yemen has a T group. Sharia law is very destructive.
But wouldn't you say this is in the midst of civil wars, or internal conflicts? So,
but the stuff was brought on in Islamic ruling. Like, they didn't do anything against Islam. What they do is not against the Sharia. It's actually, the Sharia actually condones this kind of stuff.
Who are you talking about when you say they?
All the T groups around the Middle East and in East Africa.
You mean like Shabab or Boko Haram?
Yes, people like that.
Well, I mean, it's my view.
Or even the people on the screen, the IS people.
Mm-hmm.
They all do it in the name of Sharia. Like, even in Sudan, when Omar al-Bashir took power, they were unaliving Christians. Which is condoned in Sharia, to unalive disbelievers.
Yeah, but these groups, when you look at their, internal politics, they're not really abiding by the Sharia. They're abiding by, their deviant, version of the Sharia.
That's correct. He's right. He's not wrong in that. He's not wrong.
Like Boko Haram or Shabab, or JNIM. You look at these groups, they have deficiencies in their so-called Sharia. And even among their fighters, their actions, and even their leaders, they're deviants, in Aqidah, in Sharia, and Allah knows best.
Do you know that? I lived in Sudan for 3 years, and I remember there was this video circling where this woman was getting 100 lashings for doing adultery. What do you think about that?
That's going to happen, by the way, in the Christian state as well.
Yeah, I watched the video. She got 100 lashings for committing adultery. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm just trying to remember whether it's 80 or 100 lashes. I think the distinction is based upon whether she was married or unmarried. And again, I may be wrong. Khalif, you might, have this off the top of your head.
So say it was 80. Is it right? What do you think about that?
It's it's a part of the Sharia. That this is divine legislation. So why would I take a stance against this if it's what I abide by and what I wish for the whole of the dunya, the whole of creation. I mean, we can say, for the sake of argument, that let's say I disagree with it personally. I have doubts, I have shubhat about this matter. Does that invalidate the Sharia? No. It just means I have deficiencies in my iman about it. But no, it doesn't make it objectively wrong. if that answers your question.
You know, I guess it's kind of hard to ask you questions because you find all. I mean, you did kind of waver when Caliph was telling you that one example. If it was your own family being treated this way, you would have some differing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Let's be rational about this. I think objectively, if you put such a question to any human being, regardless of, let's say, their philosophical, religious, political worldview, of course they're gonna have qualms with that. They're gonna have, on some level, an issue with this because it's involving, people who are dear to them. It's always easier, and we can even look historically. It's always easier when you simply attribute to others, labels or markings or whatever. I mean, look at the Holocaust. They were able to overcome, any psychological safeguards because, they simply labeled them this and that and the third, and were able to dehumanize them. So, that's
Right, and that
the
makes
basis
it,
of it.
and that's what makes it immoral.
Yeah.
That's why I made it personal.
I'm sorry, can you say the first part again?
I was saying that's what makes it immoral, because I had to make it personal for you to understand it. Because otherwise you can be blinded by some ideology thinking that it's moral. The true test for morality is to be able to test to see if it happens to be, if I'm doing it to others, whether this is moral, whether this aligns with our fitrah. I mean, you condemn the Holocaust, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, we can look at it from that perspective and say, okay, this is immoral because these people, the purpose of these people being unalived, and so on and so forth. What we're testing here is the morality of the Quran. I'm not going to presuppose it's from God. That's what's in question.
Well, if you don't mind me interrupting, I would say it's more or less testing, my personal morality rather than, let's say, the morality of Sharia or the morality of the Quran or Sunnah. I would say that was.
No, I don't think so. Because we're testing the very thing of why they're being unalived. Whether it's moral for someone to be unalived for their faith. The purpose behind things is what we're testing as moral. Not just some random, hey, do you think it should be? No.
But I mean, in a sense that was what eventually happened, because you put it to me in a vague sense. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with that? Or is such and such group good or bad?
I didn't make it vague for you. I gave you exactly a parallel of what the Quran teaches and what your scholars say. That's
yes. But I understand that. I was talking about before, like when we were talking about is what Dawlatul Islamiyya did, is it correct or wrong? That's more vague rather than if such and such action happened to you and your family, that's making it personal. So that therefore that's why I say, that's rather testing one's personal morality rather than the morality of Sharia or Quran and Sunnah.
No. Don't try to separate it to make the Sharia moral again. You already showed that someone who's being treated in this way because they didn't accept the faith or because they're not convinced by a faith, that's problematic. But the difference is that the Christians don't do that, but the Muslims do. So all I did is I switched it. I told you, well, now the Christians are going to do this so that you understand for a second why we think it's immoral. And you showed by your silence that, you're affirming it. Now, what was I going to say? From a perspective of, Allah himself agrees with us that no one should be forced into a faith because they should be convinced by it. So in chapter 2, verse 256, Allah says, "Let there be no compulsion in religion, for the truth stands out clear from falsehood. Therefore, whoever disbelieves in false gods and believes in Allah has grasped the firmest handhold." So basically he's saying...
I agree with you on this point.
Yeah, but the problem is that he contradicts himself. He realizes, and this is also proof that this is man-made. Because now, later on, 2 years before the Prophet's unaliving, 9 Hijri, what, did Allah learn new things? He learned that people aren't being convinced by it, and now he sends a new law that says fight them if they don't believe, humiliate them with jizya, unalive them, take their necks off because they didn't believe in me. So what, did he think that it was a convincible religion early on, and then later on realized that it's not? Which is it?
Well, the thing I would say is, you have to concede on the point that revelation, whether it be with regards to the Hakamiyya or the Quran, or eventually, what we find in the Sunnah, was a very piecemeal, venture. It was not all at once. And so, and even with regards to certain ayat being abrogated, this doesn't mean, Allah all of a sudden said, in His Majesty, oh, no, now I think this is wrong, let me change it up. It simply means that revelation came, and either corrected, things that were no longer lawful, or, they came, after something that had already been revealed before. And also with regards to your statement, about, did Allah wa ta'ala believe, that it was, righteous, or I forget the exact terminology you used, but, basically that the religion was, correct, or that people would be susceptible to it. We have to remember from the Quran and Sunnah, it's made very clear that there will always be, until the Day of Judgment, two camps, two groups of people, believers and disbelievers, and this has been...
And that's the point. That's the point. If that's the case, why wasn't the qatilu, the fight those who disbelieve in Allah, why wasn't that the first law? Why even say no compulsion in religion? If he knows there's going to be two camps, if he knows already, he's all-knowing, according to you. So if he knows there's two camps, if he knows there's two camps, and he knows that that people aren't going to be convinced by it, and there's going to be enemies. Okay, so send out the first law, and that's it. But the problem is that he lowers the standard. This isn't even a ruling. It's logic when it comes to religion from Allah's perspective. He says no compulsion in religion. Do not force anyone. This is a standard. It's not even like a law. It doesn't even say drink alcohol when you're at home. That's a ruling.
Correct.
So let there be no compulsion is a standard when it comes to deen. But when he comes and he says, fight those who disbelieve in Allah, he lowers his standard. And that's a problem. That's problematic. There would be far more respect and far more convincing, let's say, if the command from the beginning was just fight those who don't believe in Allah. But the fact that he had to lower his standard and change it, that's insanely problematic.
Well, my friend, I would say, with regards to the ayat that you're referring to, when we look at the, for example, the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, Imam Ibn Kathir, it's made very clear. This is when, for example, when the Jews of Medina aligned themselves with the polytheist Meccans, you know, they made their blood halal, even though they had the treaty. And, you know, we have to consider that this verse is in relation to those who are oppressive against the Muslims, or those who, you know, conquest and battle with the Muslims. And you know, I wanted to jump back real quick to your point about, you know, if Allah knows that there will always be two camps, you know, the camp of belief and the camp of disbelief, why not just, you know, say to, you know, the Muslims just endlessly fight, or, you know, make everyone Muslim? I would say, you know, in response to this, that, you know, this is the beauty of the creation, that, you know, when we look at when the creation was being formed, when our father Adam was being formed, you know, the angels put a question to Allah wa ta'ala, saying, will you then place therein, you know, speaking about the earth, those who will shed blood and cause mischief? And do you know what Allah's response was? Allah responded, and I know that which you do not know. So he knew that our natural human dichotomy would be that we have the inclination towards disbelief, towards wickedness, towards rebellion.
That's fine. That's fine.
And
You're
so,
you're
you know,
making a
we
moral.
don't believe in a fatalist God who would, you know, say everyone must be upon this. Rather, he leaves
No, you
the
do,
gates.
because that's the abrogation.
Say again.
You do, because that's now the abrogated verse. That is the current ruling. So imagine it like this. Imagine that, like, I have a small business, and I start offering things to people, and I start being generous. And then I come to learn that people are not grateful, or people aren't, you know, whatever, like people aren't buying my stuff, or whatever it might be, right? Then I change the rules of my business, and I become more harsh because of events that are happening. So that's what we see. There's no such thing now of no
As
compulsion.
what?
As no compulsion. There's no such thing. You either accept Islam or you get unalived. Or you accept Islam, you pay the jizya, or you unalive.
I
So,
mean, I would argue that, you know, this isn't really proving the point of there being compulsion. You die upon the faith of your choosing. You know, we can't, it's impossible, you know, to force you into Islam. Even if we did as the polytheist of Mecca did, and tortured you and cut off your ears and cut off your nose, if you are sincere in your faith, you're not going to give it up. So you're not being compulsed.
okay, so leave
You're
me
simply
alone.
receiving Allah's punishment
No,
for your disbelief.
you are being compelled, because Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani says in Fath al-Bari that the jizya is coercion into Islam. So again, we go back to the theocratic country that you're living in. It's a Christian country. And I tell you, clearly, for example, yeah, you can practice whatever you want. Guys, don't compel the Muslims into entering the religion. And then the laws change. And it says, by the way, Abu Musa has three options. He either becomes a Muslim, or he pays the Muslim tax while he's humiliated, so he understands that it's an insult, a punishment for not accepting Christianity, or we unalive him. That's it. Now you're in a pickle. You don't know what to do. You don't want to accept Christianity. You're not convinced by it. But you have two other options now. Either you become a second-class citizen, wives and sisters are taken, you get humiliated every time you pay, and you lose a lot of rights in the country and the society you're living in. And by the way, if you don't pay this, you get unalived. You're telling me that's not compulsion?
I mean, according I'm sorry, did I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out for a second. Say that again.
Okay. Oh, where did I leave off?
Just start again.
Okay. So I would say, it's not coercion. I mean, I'm sorry, compulsion, based on the statement of the scholar. It's coercion. We're coercing you into accepting that the Sharia is above you. That this is the reality now, and we're not compulsing you, but rather we are making it a fact of life for you that this is what how you live now. You live under the Sharia, you accept it, and if you rebel against it, you are killed. Which is, I would argue, is the norm of most secular countries nowadays. If you
No.
rebel against the leaders, if you commit treason, you face capital punishment.
No.
Yes or no?
No. Because you're putting belief under a law. We're talking about belief.
But
Not talking
Sharia
about
is
following the
part
law.
of that belief, and the
And
Sharia is also the
that's the
government
problem.
and law.
That's the problem. Once you make belief a law, that also is immoral. You live in a free country so that you can practice your religion freely. You don't pay a tax because you're a Muslim. You're not punished because you practice your religion or refuse to practice another religion. That's another aspect why Sharia is immoral, because it only benefits the Muslims. It's Jannah for the Muslims, hell for everyone else. That doesn't make it objectively moral. That just makes it selfish and entitled for the Muslims. Do you understand?
Sure. And I would say, Caliph, that with regards to your statement about you're not punished for being a Muslim, I would argue against that, especially in the U.S. because I can speak from experience. I spent time in the federal prison for being upon Islam. Not and I didn't I wasn't one of these guys that said I'm gonna bomb such and such place. All I did was post online about Islam in the proper sense, and I was censured for this. Spent many months in the federal prisons. So I would argue, yeah, if you're a Muslim and you have the proper understanding, and you're not one of these Muslims says, oh, go vote for Mamdani, he's the lesser of two evils, and it's okay, we're supposed to respect everything here and love gays and so on and so forth, and all of this, yeah, you're gonna be monitored, or you're gonna be imprisoned, or you're gonna be shunned by the government in this country, because they're quite frankly, and again, this is just based on my opinion, but quite frankly, they're afraid of a muwahid who has the proper understanding of Islam, and who isn't afraid to say with his chest, like me, this is Islam, this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is sent with.
Yeah, but you weren't put in federal prison for simply being a Muslim. If this is true, you were put in federal prison because your words or whatever is inciting violence. They're not taking every single Muslim on the street because they're a Muslim.
Yes, I would concede with you on that point. That's what I said. If you're one of these Muslims who doesn't have proper Aqidah, doesn't affirm wala wa bara, who doesn't disavow.
Exactly. So your average Muslim that's walking around is not going to be looked at by the federal government.
This is simply because they don't have, unfortunately, the proper understanding. They don't even have the proper understanding of La ilaha illallah and the meaning.
That's all fine. My point is that as a Christian living under Sharia, I can simply be going to my church, going to Bible study, spending time with family, wearing a cross around my neck, and I will be humiliated by paying jizya, or I get unalived. You would not accept that. And would you accept that for your Christian family? Like, would you go to the humiliation tax collection event? Because they have those. This is exactly how it was collected. All the Muslims were invited to come and watch the Christians being humiliated.
I'm sorry, are you asking would I personally subject my family to jizya?
No. Would you, well, yeah, kind of. Would you, like, you realize that your family would be paying jizya?
Yes, I realize this.
Yeah, they would be taken as sex slaves. And every year when they pay the jizya, you are going to be invited to go and watch them get humiliated. You're okay with all of that? You're going to go and applaud.
We're saying in the hypothetical sense that I'm also a Christian, correct?
No. I'm back to normal Sharia now, because you said your family's Christian.
Okay.
You said your family's Christian, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so let's say Sharia comes to the country.
Mm-hmm.
Your family is going to be humiliated. Your women, your mother, sister, they will be taken as sex slaves. And when the men in your family pay the jizya, you are going to be invited, because the whole ummah is invited to go and watch them get humiliated while they pay, to show the honor and the might of Islam. You're telling me you're going to stand there and watch all of this happen, and you're totally fine with that?
Allahu Alam, if Allah wills it, then yes.
Oh, I was gonna ask, how are you so sure that this Quran is from the one true God?
Say again.
How are you sure the Quran is from the one true God?
I believe it aligns most clearly and definitely with, what is, one could say programmed or embedded in our souls and our natural predisposition. I mean, if you strip away the Sharia and, kind of the exegesis, and you look at the what makes up the Quran and Sunnah, I would say it falls most in line with our natural predisposition towards righteousness, towards God, and towards, avowing good and disavowing evil. And, again, this is, based off of my personal experience. I can't really argue that it's an objective reality or circumstance, but that's my reasoning.
Do you know how the Quran came about? Like the Quran that we all read today, do you know how it was compiled?
I do, yes.
Yeah, how do you feel about Uthman burning the original manuscript?
Well, firstly, I would correct you by saying that the original manuscripts kept by the companions were not the ones destroyed. Rather, it was a regular or outright false manuscripts that were being, just written or scribed by, the people of Iraq, I believe in, the area of Baghdad, and other provinces, that, all of these heretical manuscripts that were written by, random people were burnt, whereas the original manuscripts and the original manuscripts of Hadith were all kept and compiled under the Khilafah of Uthman.
Okay, Uthman, he got the original manuscript from Hafsa, and even the scholars say there was differences between the one that Uthman wrote down and the one that Hafsa had, the original one. how do you justify that? And did then Allah not preserve his word?
Well, I would like to distinct. Oh, did Khalif leave? Where
Yeah.
did he go?
I don't know. What?
Okay. Well, I would say I would recommend you to research the distinction between the Quran, what the actual Quran is, which we affirm as the uncreated eternal speech of Allah wa ta'ala, and the Mus'haf, which is, the physical, I guess you could say, Quran that we possess that, is made up of created things such as the ink and the pen and the paper. There's a clear distinction between the two because, if you say the speech of God or the word of God literally was, differed or corrupted or irregular or whatever, then you would have to affirm that it's not an all-powerful God, which is, naturally, even for Christians, is a blasphemous statement.
Wait, did you just say that Allah is not an all-powerful God?
No. I was giving an example to you. If you affirmed that Allah's speech can be changed or corrupted or, XYZ, then you would logically have to affirm that said God is not all powerful. So no, I'm just giving you an example, not affirming that. Yeah.
Okay, but how do you feel? Like, how does that make you feel about these discrepancies?
It doesn't really change anything for me. I mean, humanity.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you that the Quran wasn't preserved.
The Quran itself, yes, was preserved, and the original manuscripts were kept.
But we just went over that the Quran that we have today differed from the original manuscript, and the scholars affirmed that.
Say again.
We just went over that the Quran that we read today differed from the original manuscript, and the scholars affirmed that.
Could you, source for me what scholars affirm that? Because most of the Salaf say.
I'll try to find it.
Okay, and while you're doing that, I'll just say most of the Salaf and most of the contemporary scholars affirm that we have the Quran preserved through, much like Judaism, the oral tradition. It's memorized by the tongue and the mind rather than relying upon manuscripts or physical text. And, that is how we have the same Quran, the same Mus'haf, as what was kept in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
But doesn't the oral, memorization also differ from, one to another?
Only in forms of recitation, not in the actual word or verbiage itself.
Well, actually, it does. But regardless, let's say it doesn't. What's the difference then? Like, if there's no difference in meaning, what is the difference between one qira'ah and another?
I'm sorry? Your question didn't make a lot of sense to me.
If you're saying that it actually doesn't differ in wordings, I'm asking what is the difference between one qira'ah and another?
You're saying one Quran or one qira'ah?
Qira'ah. As in recitation. Like.
Well, I would say, with regards to qira'ah, it's in the, the form of recitation, let's say, for example, if you take Hafs, and Warsh, the way in which it is recited is going to be orally distinct, but they're still going to be saying the same words. For example, the speed of recitation or the, audible level, the decibel level may differ in recitation. But the words recited, whether you decide to use the Hafs Qira or the Warsh Qira, are not going to differ. Would you agree with this?
No, unfortunately not. But I don't really want to go into it because, there's kind of language barrier. Like, diving into Arabic now is going to take us somewhere else. But would you also affirm that these, different qira'at were also around at the time of, the Prophet getting them, or like getting the revelation?
Truly, I, can't say, and, I feel uncomfortable speaking on something without the proper knowledge of it. So, I can't give you a proper answer on that, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, because if you want to think about it, like logically, we cannot affirm that. We cannot say it is because, it was. Because at that time, what we do know from, the hadith, that they were 7 ahruf. There was no mention of qira'at back then during the time of Muhammad. There was a mention of the 7 ahruf, right?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but those 7 ahrufs were eliminated into one by Uthman, right?
Say again?
The 7 ahruf were kind of, 6 of them were eliminated by Uthman, and he kept only one. Out of this one, because didn't Uthman standardize like every different mushaf that we had back then, and then he kept only one standardized version?
Yeah, according to the scholars, this is what happened, and we affirm this. It's the view that this was the most correct action taken by the Caliph Uthman, radiyallahu anhu.
Yeah, that was because those 7 ahruf, when people were